My apologies for the delay. Okay. That would help. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put up just a couple patterns up here that I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to maybe give me predictions as to what the other empty parts that I'm going to, right here, you'll have to fill in it. So, big enough? Is that enough information for everyone? Can anyone have any guesses? If you can't think of it, I'll add in a couple more letters for you. Anyone have any guesses?
This
Okay.
is audience participation. Here, Kelly has them.
S.
What?
Where? S right here?
Yeah. S T. All the T's already there.
Uh-huh.
S T S T S.
And
Every
not quite, but good guess.
It would work.
I'll add, it would work, yes, but I am going to add in another one there.
Can I say what it is?
Sure.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah,
Saturday,
you
Sunday.
got it. Have you gotten that? Have you seen this before?
No.
No? All right. It took me a while to figure out when I first saw this, to be honest. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Let me put up another one. Okay. Anyone have any guesses?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5, 6,
you
7.
guys are good.
She's a teacher. She's
Okay.
and two.
1,
Those
2,
people are two.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I almost read the number.
Yeah.
Very good. What are some
You do a shape one.
Okay, for like younger grades, you could do something like that.
So they'd have to fill in the
Fill
different
in the
shapes
shape here.
No,
So what would be the open one? Triangle.
triangle.
So you do like younger, older, so if you want to do like the letters that the words start with, or you can even do shapes if you're working on your geometry. And
Or maybe some more, I guess, simple ones that you guys as teachers would know, but as little kids they need to practice their math skills and counting by certain numbers, you know. Anyone can guess the sequence here? There you go. So this is just an activity of patterns, and you can come up with any creative patterns that you want. Some ones that we've done in the past is the Fibonacci sequence. And do you want to explain the Fibonacci sequence? Someone who's more familiar in math. I guess I should know this.
All right, so the Fibonacci sequence, you start with two number ones, and then you get the third number by adding these two together. So the next one would be 2. What would the next one be? 3, because you add 1 plus 2 is 3. The next one would be 5. The next one would be 8. So if you give them maybe the first 5 and have them try and see what the pattern would be, because it's not counting by ones, it's not jumping by twos. So just to see what the pattern is, so they can relate the difference of the numbers.
Do any of you use the Fibonacci sequence in your teaching? Because you can connect this with the science too, because if you take a pine cone and look at the bottom of the pine cone, the little pieces on the bottom of the pine cone are arranged in a Fibonacci sequence. Pineapple, little pieces of the pineapple are arranged in a Fibonacci sequence, and a lot of flowers are arranged in a Fibonacci sequence. So you might connect the science, have the kids, and by the way, if you use pine cones, you all know you put them in the freezer overnight so they won't be sticky the next day when the kids are playing. They won't have the stick stuff and some gummy stuff all over their hand. Put them in the freezer and they'll be okay.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to our next part of the presentation and go ahead and hand it over to Ben. He's going to go ahead and explain a PowerPoint that we have put together for you.
All right. So pretty much right now, we're just going to go through kind of what it is that we do that leads up to what you guys see on the stage. We go through a couple different phases and everything where we're actually just planning and writing and stuff. And then this is actually what we do. So as you can see, we are the Math Literature Connections. That's everyone in the group. And then, would you like to click next? All right, our step one is brainstorming. Together we all meet and we kind of talk about certain like mathematical concepts or just ideas that we have as far as what we would like to kind of do in the next couple of things. We haven't chosen a book yet, so it's pretty much just kind of just throwing things out there and just writing down what we want to cover and stuff. As you can see, this is actually us doing it. We all like kind of work together. We'll pick up a few books and everything and see what we can put together. The next phase that we have, I believe, is the actual book selection. Yeah, and then this is where we spend a bunch of time in the library and stuff, just looking through all that Ballinger has to offer. And you guys probably know this, that they have a wide selection of stuff, so we're able to find a lot of kind of good books that actually do have some mathematical concepts tied in with them. So all together we kind of meet, and for this, it's pretty much just trying to read through everything, see if you can find something that you want. And then it's when we actually have our planning time. We kind of work on everything, and you'll see right here that, we look at these books and stuff, and we try to dissect them for everything that we can, see if there's anything that we could use. This process takes quite a bit of time just because you're really trying to pinpoint what it is you want to cover in your presentation. So we do that, and then this one we kind of all work together and stuff and kind of bounce ideas off each other and whatnot. There's the stud muffin on the right. And so, yeah, I just go rogue and do my own thing. And then this is actually what practicing for what you guys see. We actually meet once a week and everything, and it's over in Old Main that we meet, and we kind of just practice what it is that you guys see on stage. These are just a couple of pictures that we have from various performances that that we have. It's a lot of fun and everything. So if you do have the opportunity, I would recommend just coming out and everything. And we could always use the help and stuff. And yeah, and so as you see, this is the group that we had last year. And so yeah, that's pretty much what we do that leads up to what you guys see on the stage. So.
All right, the next part, everyone's going to get involved. It's going to be the actual workshop, creative workshop for everyone.
Okay, so on your tables, you guys each have a different story. And you've got a list of characters too. If you don't remember the story, that's fine. We all know the stories. You can ask us and we'll give you a little refresher. But anyway, you've got a list of characters there. And you're going to do just basically what we just showed you that we do. You're going to look at the story. You're going to figure out how you guys can each be a character and put on a skit for us. And also you're going to figure out what kind of math activity could go with this story and come up with what you would want to do. Now, we understand that we don't have all the manipulatives here. We don't have all that sort of stuff. So you're just going to come up with what you would do if you had the manipulatives that you wanted to use and all that. And you're not going to actually have to do it, but we're going to have you explain what you would do. So if you guys have any questions, we'll be walking around to help you. And go ahead and get started.
And they have 30 minutes.
You guys have 30 minutes, yeah.
Like if this guy, and be like, oh, the job.
All right.
Take your hand and then we have a problem.
Okay, so we have 12 pieces of coffee cake, and there's going to be.
Remember, so I'm gonna watch something on TV. Chair.
Everybody, can you focus up here now?
Show your face.
Ladies and
Ladies and those be the rest of you. Could you focus up here?
You can take
What you do now is to show the other three tables what you guys have done. Instead of telling them, we want you to show them. You know, this is like show and tell time.
You
have
will
in school.
perform your skits.
And this also shows your students, if they actually see this on video, that their teachers are good sports too, that their teachers are really human beings. And that's what we want you to do. So what you're going to do is we're going to ask you to come up here and act out your book. One of the EIU students will introduce you to the book, and then you come out and do your thing, and then when you're finished, you tell us what the math connection is. How you hook this up with the mathematics, because this is a math literature connection. Okay, and if you want to applaud, if there's a villain in there and you want to boo, jeer them, go jeer them. But if you see they're freaking out, just say, no, just kidding, you know, go on. Okay, so we got 4 of you to come in order, take your time, but just, you're going to act out your little story for us.
First up, we're gonna have Goldilocks and 3 bears.
All right, sounds great.